Hi everyone, my name is Enda and this is the Yarn and the Restless. I have a cat out of frame right here. You can kind of see him. It's Tino. He wants to be part of this. And I've started over a few times because of him, so this is where we're at. I wanted to come on this week to show some progress on the projects that I'm working on and to also show some research and development I've been doing for future projects. To show some sewing that I've been doing, which I had done last episode, but I didn't bring it out, so I said I would bring it out, so I did. And yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. It's also St. Patrick's Day. I'm not wearing any green, but I do feel like this is very Irish-esque. Hi! Oh my gosh, how cute. And yeah, I wanted to bring that on to the vibe. I have some of my Irish grandmother's things out too. Okay. Just to celebrate. So let's begin. If my cat will let me. Can you hang out and just chill? Everything is on the table in front of me kind of chaotically, so I'm just gonna start with the sewing because it's on top. And first thing to show is this tank top. It's a little wrinkled. I have been like taking it on and off a lot, and I threw it on a chair. And the only thing I have left to do is it's double, so it's like reversible. So when I sewed it, you have this little gap, but you need to hand stitch, and I haven't done that part. But it's open on the sides, and it has these little ties. Wow, it really matches what I have going on. And I love it. It's really cute. I'm not usually one to show skin, honestly. I have a lot of cats, if you can't tell. And I'm into this opening. I'm into this part of my body being visible. So I can't wait for it to get warm enough for that. It is getting really warm, so it won't be long. The second thing I made, I'm proud of being able to construct this, but I don't want to wear it. It's very loud. And I haven't put the buttonholes. I actually have kind of an issue with all of the button downs that I've made where they're not button downs, they're just open because I don't make the buttonholes. I have the tools to make buttonholes. I just need to do it on some scrap fabric so I feel a little more confident before doing it on the garment. But it's kind of hard to tell because of the busy fabric, but it has these flap pockets and on both sides, which I kind of like that it's hidden. And yeah, these are a little bit long. I followed it true to pattern, but I'm quite short, so I think I might hem these as well, because if you're gonna make your own clothing, they should probably fit you. And that's that. I haven't worn this. I have no idea why or where I would wear it. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna wear that. But I made it. I have a few other patterns that I want to sew up, and I bought this fabric for it, which is another very busy fabric, but not like this. I'll wear this, and I'm really excited for it. This is a cotton that was hand block printed in India. I love block printed fabric, so we'll see what I make with that too. That's all for sewing. Let's get into research and development. Firstly, I have been thinking about making garments for the summertime. I never have I don't think I've ever knit or crocheted a piece that I can wear in warm weather, mostly because I didn't want to use really thin yarn because it's time consuming to make things in thin weight yarn, but I think I've gotten over that. So I wanted to make kind of a halter top, and this is my failed prototype. I don't know what I was thinking, but I needed to cast off a significant amount of stitches over here before I started like the decreases for this panel. So it just is gonna like sit really high up in my armpit, and I don't want that. So I am going to rip this back and maybe do it again. I don't know, we'll see. Because I'm doing another one in different colors now. But this one was for me, and the other one is for a person I like. A person I'm dating. But yeah, that's that. Kind of a fail, but good to see. Good to see. Even though there's a lot of stitches to just see. But that's okay. So with that, I started to make swatches. This also kind of matches what I'm wearing today. This is a 2-color moss stitch, which I thought would be a cute border, but I think these colors are very, what is the right word? Like Victorian pastel cake energy, and I don't really want to make that. I also don't think the person I'm dating would be into that. I mean, she's cute and femme, but that's a little much. And then I was like, maybe I'll crochet. I had made enough chains thinking I was going to do 5-stitch squares. That's why this little thing is here, but then I did 4-stitch squares. Basic, like we've seen this before, just like a checkered crochet thing. And I still was like on the fence with it, or I don't know. And yesterday, this weekend, today is Sunday, I think yesterday was the first day of the Bay Area yarn crawl. I live in the Bay Area of California, and so I wasn't even planning on going to a yarn shop and participating in it, but I happened to be going to the movies with myself. I took myself to the movies yesterday, which I love doing, and I knit. Oh, I didn't bring that out. Where is it? Story of my life. I knit plain stockinette while I'm in the movie theater, and it's just really nice and fun. I like doing that. But the yarn shop, there's a yarn shop across the street from the theater. So what I'm trying to say is that it happened to be Bay Area yarn crawl, and I happened to go to the yarn shop. And I got these 2 colors, which I love. And I knew that I kind of needed to go to the yarn shop and think about colors specifically for the person that will be wearing this garment. And this is what spoke to me, and I think she'll really like it. If she doesn't, I do. I kind of am like, I like this. But that's okay. This is what the yarn looks like. It's Queensland United. I took the ball bands off, obviously. When I bought it, I didn't know the blend. I thought it was 100% wool, but it's actually, there was just so many people in there, and I went to the sock weight yarn wall, which is where I was planning on going, and I just picked these up, and it's totally fine, they'll work, but I'm glad I wasn't gonna like make socks, because I'm sure it would work, but it's what am I trying to say? It's 55% wool, 45% cotton. Perfect for a summer tank, but I don't know. I'm glad I wasn't going in there for sock stuff. I love it. I love these colors very, very much. And with this swatch, excuse me, I plan on doing kind of a color block thing. I started that last night, but there's not much to show. This pink at the bottom is actually a provisional cast on, so don't mind that. That's not going to be there. But obviously I've done like 4 rows, so not much to see. And also, I mean, I washed the swatch. I saw the gauge. I did the math, and it measures. This is the front panel, so it does measure to 16 inches, but it seems so wide. And she's smaller than me. So, I don't know. Maybe I should start over with less stitches. Why is it so big? Is that like the center? I mean, maybe, but she's a smaller bust than me, so it's definitely gonna be big. Okay, well, I'll probably end up starting this over. I just got really excited and went to town, but even when I cast on 80 stitches and I was like, you know, maybe I should do 70 so there's some negative ease. And I'm still kind of in this boat where I'm like, well, the provisional cast on is so I can later pick up ribbing and use a smaller needle, so it will cinch in underneath. Sorry, I'm just kind of thinking it through on camera. To be determined. I don't know. You know, I make a lot of sweaters and stuff, and it's not as difficult as this tank top has been. What's up with that? Okay, so with that, you remember this yarn? Beautiful. It's called Daddy State of Mind, which I love. I just want to eat this. Okay. It's from Spin Cycle Yarns. It is a collaboration between Spin Cycle Yarns and Farmer's Daughter Yarns. What is it called? Spinster's Daughter. And I have been making this vest. This is the back panel, but it is growing. I did mess up on this row of the honeycomb stitch right here. I didn't do enough rows in between them, but I'm gonna leave it. And obviously it won't be written in the pattern like that. The pattern is to do it like this, and when I take the photos, I'm gonna hide that. That's too far back to rip. But wow, seeing it on camera, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm freaking making this. I drew it. It's crazy designing stuff. I draw it in my little notebook, and then I make a swatch, and then I just make the thing. It's been really tripping me out. So this will sit, the saddle shoulders will actually sit higher up like that. And yeah, the yarn looks really good with the stitch definition. Like, this is really fun. The only thing that has been really difficult with this knit is my hands hurt a lot cabling, which really sucks because I've been really enjoying cabling. I usually do a lot of color work. I had just finished the Grove cardigan that I showed in the last episode, which was a lot of color work, and I tend to do something textured after I design something in color work so I can get a break. I also have something in plain stockinette, which is another break from everything, which is really nice, but this has been hurting my hands a lot and it's really slowing me down. I do feel like I would be a lot further if that wasn't the case, but that's that. I'm really loving it. I have a long way to go, like double this and some to go, and then I need to do the front panel, which will be a V-neck, but here we are. I did just submit another design to Spin Cycle Yarns, and I'm like really crossing my fingers that they say yes to that one because it is so cute and feminine. I feel like this is pretty, I don't know, androgynous on the masculine side of knitwear. The other thing I'm about to show is also kind of unisex. And not that the thing that I want to knit that I just proposed isn't unisex, anyone can wear it, but it is much more feminine. And I have been really into that lately. I've been really tapping into my feminine energy side and loving it. It feels like such a reclamation because I don't know, I went through a few years of feeling pretty off about it and going a different direction with the way I represent in this world. And I think pendulum swings has been a theme in my life where it's like, okay, now I'm doing something totally opposite, and I've noticed that there's a lot of things in my life that are like slowing down in the middle and are balancing out between sides, and that feels really, really good. And I feel that way about my femininity. Okay, so moving on. This doesn't even have a ball of yarn attached to it because I'm ready to pick up the stitches for the back panel. So it is kind of floppy because the front panels are done and the back panel is kind of hanging back there. Let me try to sit up. So here is my other design. It has ribbing up at the top and ribbing down at the bottom. It has these two pockets that are pretty small, and you know, they're not really meant for your hands since they go like this. That would be so uncomfortable. But I don't know, maybe if you're out in nature and you find a couple cute rocks or something, you can put them in your pocket. Yeah, this will be cut open. This is why it's kind of difficult to show because the back is just kind of flopping down. And this yarn and fabric it's making with this needle and gauge is so drapey, but it's also kind of like that too. Once I finish the back, I'll cut open the steek, and then I'm kind of debating whether or not there'll be a double knit button band. That's what I want. I just kind of don't want to knit it. I think it looks really, really nice. I just don't want to do it, but it won't be that bad. And when you don't want to do something, once you do it and just start doing it, then it eventually finishes. So just get through it. I am really excited for the sleeves, which is a first because I don't like knitting sleeves at all. But I am doing some detailing on the elbow patch. I think it's gonna be really cute. And I think it's also going to require the pattern to have like a lot of extra advice on length and when to start your elbow patch, because everyone's arms are such different lengths and my arms are short. I'm a very short, small person. So as a designer, I really need to be mindful of that. I've ran into that problem in testing with the Grove cardigan too. And I've been thinking about, this is a silly way to go about it. I mean, I've also been researching proper standard lengths of sleeves and going off of that, but I also think about how my sister's clothing fits on me and how her sleeves would always go down to here-ish on me, so that's been helpful too. I was gonna ask somebody to model the Grove cardigan for me, and she's much taller than I am, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's not gonna work. But this is that. Can't wait to finish this. I have a name for it already, which is usually like the last minute, like, oh no, what do I call this? And I can't wait for it to go into testing. Excuse me. And that's all I really have to show. I put this book out, but I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with fiber art really, but maybe it will. Because it's St. Patrick's Day. I happened to get this a couple weeks ago at the library, which means that I probably should recheck it out. But it's probably backwards too. It's a beginner's manual on how to draw Celtic designs. And I'm really interested in drawing them. I'm trying to find one. I think they're so beautiful and I like the contrast. And I like how it goes over the geometry. It also goes over the lettering. Ooh. Half uniaxial. Uncial script. I learned that in calligraphy. I took calligraphy classes when I was in art school. I was like, what is that word? Irish half uncial script. Maybe I can use I think you are supposed to use your quills for this. Exciting! I just wanted to share that too. It's still like in the art realm. You can make these big old letters. I have been really into Victorian puzzle purses recently. Which I don't have one out to show, so it's probably like, what the heck is that? You know that knitted frog that, I can't remember her name, the designer. A couple days ago, there was actually a video of that little frog and the little frog's partner, I imagine, romantic person. The little frog was making a Victorian puzzle purse and was like painting it with watercolor and folded it up and gave it to the other little frog, and it was just so cute. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I was just making those. It's me. So that's all I have this time. It's a short video. I would like to be posting more on here, more updates, so I think the shorter format is best for me. And previously, even when I was posting a little more regularly and they were like an hour-long videos, I was all over the place. I had like 10 things I started, and where are those things? I don't know. But ever since I started collaborating, getting yarn support from yarn companies, I've been much more focused, and I have deadlines and I have to like work on these projects individually and get them going, and it feels much more structured, and that's been very helpful for me. And my chaotic, I want to cast on 10 million things, which I'm doing slightly in between these moments with these projects. Like all of a sudden wanting to design a tank top. I don't know. The weather's also been amazing, so I think that's influencing it too. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want. I hope whatever you're working on is bringing you joy, and I'll be back with more updates soon, and hopefully I can get this green cardigan into testing somewhat soon. There'll be a discount code for the yarn for this too if you wanted to use it. It's the same yarn I did for the Grove cardigan, the And Make DK from the Fiber Co., which is so amazing. I love it. And you can see the linen flex in it. They didn't ask me to talk about their yarn. I just like it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I have something down here. I work on this sometimes. This is for a family member that I love dearly. This is gonna be a sock. I've been using DPNs, which I was kind of like, oh, I hate DPNs, but I'm really enjoying it for this. They are a little bit bigger than he needs them to be, but he doesn't like tight socks, so I think it's gonna be perfect. And I'm holding mohair with it. This is what the yarn looks like. I think I've showed these before, but I think they're bigger now. And yeah, they're just pretty luxurious with the mohair. I really want to knit myself socks with mohair, so I'm also working on that. And this little guy that I showed last video, he lives in this cabinet of my coffee table, so he's always around too. That's it. That's all I got to show. I hope you are enjoying your knitting or your crocheting or your sewing and you're giving your wrist breaks. I got myself a hand massager because I've been dealing with a lot of wrist pain and just taking breaks when that happens, which can be difficult when you have knitting mojo. But I hope you're taking care of yourself and loving the people around you and loving yourself. And I'll see you next time.